Hi, I'm Sonia, and I'm going to tell you what you don't know about mature skin makeup, but wish you did. I am going to keep it real. I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I'm excited to do so. I'm glad that you're here. Let me just quickly introduce myself. I said I was Sonia, but I have been doing this for almost 6, oh my gosh, maybe it's 6 years now. I got more mature. My skin changed. I couldn't wear makeup. Everything sat in my fine lines. I hated everything I did. It accented all the wrong things. And that kind of set me on a quest of finding something that worked. Hey, it's not over. We may be more mature. We may be 50, late 40s, but dad blam it. I still wanted to wear makeup and I still wanted to look good and feel good. So I am going to share with you everything that I've learned along the way. Well, not everything. It would be a little bit too long, but I'm going to share with you the really important things when it comes to your makeup that you probably don't know. I have so many women that I say something and they're like, that's not going to work. And I'm like, trust me, just trust me. I had a lady that just messaged me the other day and she said, I really thought that was crazy. And it works so well. So if you're here, I would love for you to say hi. I would love for you to tell me where you're from, what your age is, all the things. And you don't have to be old to be here. You could be young and learn what's going to happen. How about that? Okay, so I am going to use a cream makeup today. It does matter, in my opinion. It really matters. The color you're going to use has to be good, and the formula for mature skin, it has to be the right formula. I'm going to just show you, this is the makeup that when I was 49, 50 years old that I got. I wanted something that I could travel with, that was easy, that streamlined my disastrous huge basket of makeup. And this was it. It like checked so many boxes for me, and more boxes than what I even realized as time went on. So I'm going to be working out of here. I do have one extra blush that I'm going to show you that isn't fitting in the palette size that I have. So I worked out of here for my eyeshadows. Here's my blush that's a powder for my face. And this is the cream makeup. Hi guys. Hi Barb. What's going on with you today? I hope you're well. It is so nice here. I know it's usually colder where you're at. It's 50, which is so good because I need to pick up my grandkids from school. And the last about 5 times I have frozen to death or gotten rained on. So today's going to be a good day. All right. First and foremost, the color that you pick out for your foundation that's going to be a huge thing. If you're watching this on the replay, or if you're watching this on the replay, you're going to see in the description, and I'm going to tell you at the end of the video how you can get a match. I'm not going to tell you right now because if you comment now, I don't have anything set up to send you. And the comments are going to disappear, but I'm going to have a way for me to match you to your shade. That is huge because most of us pick the wrong shade for our skin because we have a lot more going on than we ever used to. So less is best in the right shade. So we're going to match you to your shade, and we're going to use darker than what you think. And you're going to be like, what do you mean? So when we have our skin as a mature lady, look at my face right now. You see that I have different things going on, right? So this is lighter. This is more red and pink and pink and pink, a little bit lighter right here. Okay. You see what I'm saying? And most of us have that. Most of us have this cross right here of pink, red, a little bit darker skin. And I use less makeup and I use a darker shade in those areas. Hi, Joan from West Virginia, age 62. What's it going on? How's it going on? I don't even know what that was. How is it going for you today? What is you're not far from me in West Virginia. I'm in Northwest Ohio. So what's your temperature today? It's beautiful here. Honestly, it is. Okay, we're going to start out with my darker shade, and I'm going to tell you everything. Well, actually, let's do this. I'm going to pull it out of my palette, and I'll show you as I do it exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. I should have thought about that. See, this is a customizable palette. It is amazing. Okay, we have an empty palette. This is a palette 12. Eyeshadows, and now I'm going to pop in all my colors. This is my darkest shade. This is the shade that is going to go, see, you'd be like, I don't think so, Sonia. That's not going to work. This shade right here is the color Mango. Don't go buy Mango. Let me match you. And I'm going to pop it in here. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it just in the areas that I showed you. It's like I said, it's typically that cross area right in there. And we're going to take a brush and we're going to put the least amount on as possible. And we're going to build. We're going to build. Watch the pink go away. But the reason you want darker is that's a darker shade than the rest of my face. That's a darker shade. And it's going to help you not to look crusty and dusty. Because what happens is you take this shade and you put a lighter shade on these areas and then it looks textured and nasty and it doesn't stay. It doesn't look nasty. You don't look nasty. You're beautiful. It just doesn't look right. And you're not happy with it. I get it. I get it. Our faces used to be all one beautiful shade like my daughters and my granddaughter. It's not that way anymore. So I just took one shade that was darker and I put it on my cheeks and my nose and my chin and a little on my forehead. And you see that my skin tone is evened out, but you can't see foundation. That's what I want. I don't want my foundation to look like foundation. I want my foundation to look like skin. And that's what I have with this makeup. But I have to use less and I have to make sure it's a dark enough shade. And that's what I've done. Love it. It's amazing. If you've never used cream makeup, you know. Now, 90% of the time, I don't put makeup anywhere else as far as like down here. I let it go, but I know a lot of you like full coverage or you like everything covered. So we're going to take this next shade, which is Hazel. It's a little bit cooler and I'm going to pop it in there. And then I'm just going to put it everywhere else that I didn't put that darker shade. Sounds confusing. It's not. Okay. You have where you have discoloration, you put the darker shade. And now we're going to take this one and we're just going to lightly apply it everywhere else. Again, I don't need very much because it doesn't really, I really don't need much coverage there. Okay, that was easy. Really, most of my face is the darker shade, right? So these are $16 a piece. And these will last me over 6 months for me. That's how little I use of them. Honestly, I swear to you, these last a long time. So for $32 right there, and it's customizable to you, you get what you want, okay? So then I'm going to take bronzer because that's the next thing I'm going to do. No, let's do my under eyes. I'm going to take a color corrector. This is actually a lip and cheek. You may not be able to use this color Frenchie for discoloration on your eyes. I can because I have a little bit of light blue right in here and some like, if you have lighter brown, Frenchie's a really great color. I can help you with color corrector. But on your under eyes, if I can tell you anything that is key is you want to color correct, not just conceal. And if you can get away with just a concealer, it has to be dark. Don't put light on your under eyes anymore. It emphasizes the wrinkles and crinkles for one. And let's be honest, if you have dark under eyes and you stick a light color there, what do you end up with? Gray. Okay, so trust me on this. I don't need a lot of color correction, but I do need some. I'm going to take a small brush. I'm going to put it on there. It's peachy. And I'm going to put it on the blue and the brown areas only, which is right here. And it'll correct, meaning take away that color. That's where you're going to be able to wear less makeup, is by color correcting it instead of trying to conceal it with a bunch of makeup. Okay, some of us can color correct and we don't have to put anything over it. I do. You can kind of see that peachy color and I don't want that. I'm going to go back to that next dark shade or that dark shade I started with and I'm going to put it over it and I'm going to put it under my eye. So we're going to take a little tiny bit. You know what I forgot to do? Hydrate on my under eyes. That's okay. Hang on. I'm going to put a little bit of my dark concealer shade. It's actually one of my main foundation shades, but let's just for sake here of understanding, we're going to grab that dark concealer and we're going to stick it on the under eyes. Okay. So I just got to dual purpose that. That took care of this and it took care of my under eyes. Now, I forgot to hydrate and I do this all the time. So I'm just going to be honest because I told you I like to be honest with you guys. This is the Multi-Balm Stick. I can send you a link if you want it. I love hydrating my under eyes with this. I already have my skincare on and I did stick a little bit of my moisturizer on under my under eyes, but I do find with my makeup, I need just a little bit more. And I really like using this. This is what I do is I'll actually go over my makeup and I have no problem with it. I know it's insane. Like, Sonia, why can you not remember this? I don't know, because I'm 56. But I have no problem going over the makeup. I actually feel like it helps it to lay better. Okay, so we're done with that. Then we're going to go into bronzer. This is Bella Bronzer. She's my best friend. And the reason she's my best friend is she's going to add some dimension to my face. She's going to help connect everything all together. She's going to make it look like I got kissed by the sun. And I use this all willy-nilly. So you do what you want. Oh, Barbara, you know what, Barbara? The color correctors, we have demi correctors she's talking about. Our color correctors, there's no reason to not buy them, but sometimes Frenchie works. Sometimes it doesn't. So it just really depends. Okay, now you guys see how this is bringing life to my face? I'm putting it where the sun hits me naturally on my nose, a little bit over here. Sometimes I just go like this. And I do it where the sun doesn't hit me. I always have this lighter thing right here. So I'll just go ahead and take a little bit of bronzer. And that's how I do my bronzer. Everybody's different. You do whatever you're comfortable with. I like a lot of bronzer because I like the dimension and the color that it gives to my face. So the next thing I'm going to do is put on my blush. I actually have two blushes I'm going to use, so I'll only pop one in here. I'm going to do Sandstone, which is a beautiful fall color. It matches my lips. And then I'm going to top it with Sadie, which is a gloss. You see how that's like, you know, paint on the wall. This one's a matte satin. And then this is a gloss. So pretty. I know it's weird colors to mix. Well, it's not necessarily, but I love them together. All right, I'm going to take Sandstone and just tap it on real light. And when you do your blush, do you see where I started? I didn't start on the apple of my cheeks. Most of us, the collagen is leaving our skin, and the apple, what we always call the apple of our cheeks, is kind of sunken in or maybe fallen, or maybe we have a little bit more of a flat face. And with that, I have jowls. I mean, my apple to my cheek is just falling down. So don't start there. As I say, the apple has fallen from the tree. We want to start high up on the cheekbone, and then we can work our way forward. If you have really nice full apples, you could maybe still smile and start there, but I would say one of the things you can start changing is that. So let's take Sandstone and put it high on the cheeks like so. See how I'm just going like right on the cheekbone? If you close your eye, you can kind of feel, and that's where I'm going to stay for now. And then I'll bring a little bit of it forward. Sandstone is a high color payoff blush. High color payoff. Beautiful, reddy, orangey tone. It's a very pretty fall color. You can wear it year round though. Okay, now I'm going to bring it to my apple. So what I like to do is, this is the Pilot brush. It's like a 4-in-1. It has 4 brushes. So I use this for everything. I use it for my eyeshadow, my brightening, everything. I'm going to take this. It's oblong. I'm going to keep it oblong like this, okay? And I'm going to tap an upside down triangle. Just try this and let me know if it helps you. I just have the worst time getting my blush right. It was like a streak, or I brought it too far in, whatever. That works for me. And then I'm going to take Sadie, and we're just going to plunk a little bit over. It's there. It's already on my lips. It's not a lot of color. It's just a subtle nude color. And we're just going to tap a little bit over Sandstone. It is glossy, so you're going to have a little bit of a more tacky feeling on your cheeks. But I love the glosses. If you don't use them, or take some powder over them. If you do your neck and lower chin, how do you keep what? White high neck shirts or sweaters from getting stained? Oh, on here. Great question. When it comes to cream makeup sets on the skin. So what my advice would be to you is, if you are, and I've done this, I've had like those sweaters that come up to here. I just wouldn't put any makeup on the lower part of your face except a little bit here on the chin. Personally, I feel like any makeup can transfer. So if I have something that comes up like this, what I have on right now won't transfer, okay? Because I don't have it any lower. I have so little makeup right in here, and I have more on my chin. I really don't think it's going to get on there. Does that help? So I don't have that problem typically because I don't put a lot of makeup on the lower part of my face, but you can add a little bit of powder and some setting spray, and that can help kind of set it in a little bit more. All right, next we're gonna brighten. This is one of my very favorite things to do. Brightening is kind of like reverse contour. We're gonna highlight the areas that I want to highlight and lift. And we need a lot of lift as mature ladies, right? I popped it in here. This is white peach. I use either white peach, Aura, or Palace are my favorite ones to brighten with. And I took the end off of my Pilot brush. I want to make sure I don't have any eyeshadow or anything on there. And I'm going to tap it into there. And I'm not going to have a lot on there because we don't want a lot. And the first thing I'm going to do is go from the corner of my eye to the tail of my brow, and we're going to create lift. So this light color is going to help create that lift and help if I got my eyeshadow too low. I'm going to leave that, okay? I'm going to go here underneath my contour. I'm going to take it on the inner part of my eye. Now, if you've had to color correct and if you color corrected and put concealer and that ends up being too much makeup, don't lighten right there. Okay, that's okay. Take it in this area. And then I'm going to put a little bit here. And then I sometimes put a little bit right there where the jowl is sinking in. And then a little bit on the high parts of my cheek. And that's where I brighten. Sometimes there's other areas that you can, but those are the easiest ones. This one, I feel like this is a no, you can't not do this one right here. And if you can't use light because you have a lot of no, those are smile lines, then use a darker shade than the brightener. But you gotta cut where you use that eyeshadow. It'll help create lift and make sure it's not too low. So we have a little bit here on the tops of my cheeks because it's lifting, elevating, a little bit here. You can use your finger too if you have a bigger area. I know people do that. I don't have a huge area, so I use a brush and a little bit here underneath to create a little bit of a carved out cheekbone. And again, so if you look at this eye and then look at this eye, can you see it? You see where I have lift? And do you see where that blue, I have like a blue shade, is a little bit too low? That right there gives you that illusion of lift. And we want that. See, a little bit here. If this brush is too big, get the spot brush. The spot brush was the one I was using for concealer. Okay, this is a really good one for in the concaved area around the eye bag. You want to get under, but we are not getting anything on the under eye, especially if you have eye bags. If there's a couple things that I ever would want you to learn is three main things probably is you need a darker shade than what you think on your red areas of your face. You need never, ever, ever again, put light on your under eyes. If you have wrinkles, you can't do it. It's going to accent all your texture, and then less is best. I have very little makeup on right now. That's what I need. I need very little makeup, but I don't compromise my look. That's the part I love about this is I'm strategic where I put it. And because I'm strategic where I put it, I don't need a lot. You can put it down the center of your nose, between your eyebrows, whatever. Those are areas that you don't have to do. There's some that are non-negotiable. That was the eyes right there. Okay, I'm actually done, except for powdering. So I want to show you a trick that I think is super, super important that you can do to set your under eyes if you feel you need to set your under eyes. I don't think we all do. I don't need to set my under eyes with powder, but I know a lot of you like to. And so I'm going to show you something I've learned that I want to share with you. And then I'm going to show you on the rest of my face. So I'm going to pull the other end of my Pilot brush off, and I'm going to take a little bit of powder. Let me tell you what you don't want to do first. You're not going to go like this. You're not going to have this ridiculous amount of powder and put it on your face anywhere. it's really going to make you look dry and crackly. And we don't want to look like that. But if you're either wanting to have longevity or you don't like the dewy look that the cream makeup gives you, then you can use powder. But here's what you do. So we're going to use the littlest amount as possible. And we're going to take a setting spray. I can send you a link for this one also. This is Remon, my skincare setting spray, because it has the finest mist and I love it. And I'm going to put a little bit of setting spray on this. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to tap it on my under eyes. This is not going to give you a crinkled look. It's not going to add texture. And then I do the same thing on my face. You can do it one of two ways. You can either put powder on your face like this. I'll just show you. I'm going to use the same brush. Did you guys notice I didn't pull out brush after brush after brush from color to color? You don't have to. You can use one brush for everything. And the reason that you can use one brush for everything is because you don't put very much on it. And so you can use the same brush for your everything. Okay. So I just stuck I basically did kind of a cross there. And then you can spray it like this, or you can take a sponge. This is a Perfector sponge, and spray it with your setting spray, and you can tap it on. Either way is good. I like either way. With this, I feel like you'll get kind of a, I don't know what the airbrushed look maybe. And with the other way, I mean, I feel like you use less. If I do setting spray, I only do 3 squirts on my face. If I do it on the sponge, I'm doing 3, 4, and 5. So either way is good. And then you'll set your makeup the way you want. For longevity, I also like the setting spray will give me a real radiant look, which is what I like. If you look at your grandkids or your kids, hi, Crystal, yay, you caught me. I'm almost done. You can watch the replay. If you look at your kids or your grandkids and you look at their skin, they have radiant skin without doing anything to it. So I like my skin, my makeup to look like skin. And that is one way to do it, is using the right makeup, the right formula, the right colors, all that goes together. And then if you do powder, then if you use something like this, a setting spray, it can give you that radiance back if you powdered it out and kind of lost it a little bit. So, all right, yay! Okay, if you want to match to this makeup, you say match me on this replay, and I will send you a link to fill it out where you're going to get matched to your perfect skin tone. All right, see you guys. Love you, bye.